Hello there, my beautiful friends. So I'm sure if you clicked on this video, you are ready to talk about all the new makeup that is on the market for this week. So let us not wait another second and let's jump right on in. So I apologize if I just seem a little bit under the weather. I do not know what in the heck is going on. I was at a llama's birthday party yesterday, so I'm just gonna go ahead and blame it on the llamas for why I feel funky today. But we are not gonna let a little bit of funk over here ruin our pay or stay away. This is a tradition here on my channel. We do it every Monday, except for last week. We didn't do it last Monday, but we don't need to talk about that. Usually it is on Monday. So we are gonna go ahead and talk about what is new in the makeup market for this week. So let's go ahead and get started with the mainstream Sephora and Ulta brands. So the first release that I wanted to talk to you guys about is from Cover FX, which is a brand that I basically never talk about here on my channel because I don't know what it is. I never really purchase from them. There's not really anything that I just need to get from Cover FX until now. But these are the new monochromatic blush and bronzer duos. These are available now. They retail for $38 and there are 8 different shades. 6 of them are blushes and 2 are bronzers. Now, as the name would state, these are duos. One side of these blush and bronzer duos is a matte pressed powder and the other side of the product is a pressed baked gelée kind of powder that has a very glowy finish to it. Now, I do like that they came out with 6 different shades of blush. We have a nice arrangement of super light blushes that will work really well for fair and light medium skin to really deep as well. I do think they could have included a few lighter in the range and a few darker, but we're talking blush and bronzer here. We're not talking foundation, so it's a little bit more wiggle room. I do also like the bronzers. I think the shades are really pretty, but I went ahead and picked up the shade Pink Dahlia, which is one of the blushes. This is probably the blush that most people would go for. I feel like most people really enjoy these types of peachy pink, light, springy kinds of colors. And this is exactly my kind of blush right here. And I said I wasn't gonna buy any more blush, and I'm pretty sure I said in a video to hold me accountable if I do purchase, more blush, because Lord knows I really need to stop purchasing blush products, especially with all of my blushes that I have that I don't use, that sit around and collect dust. So I kind of went against my word on that one. So I suppose this would be an instance where it would be okay to chew me out via the comment section. So if that happens, then I'm expecting it. Honestly, I kind of deserve it because I need to stop buying things that I don't freaking need. But something about this product just really drew me in. I don't know if it was just because of the shade of the blush. Lord knows I have this shade like 10 times over from a bunch of different brands, but I'm just drawn to these types of things. I don't know if it's because they included, a duo kind of aspect to the product and there was a pressed baked gelée glowy blush, which is something that I don't have a whole lot of in my collection, although I do have some, but nonetheless. But for some reason, I don't know why, I was just compelled to purchase this and spend the $38 on a blush that I didn't need. And I knew when I was buying it that I didn't need it. And I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't disappointed just a little bit in myself for purchasing this blush, because I know that I didn't need it. And I know that I have products like this, but I can't really do that much about it now. The deed has been done. So what are you gonna do? It's already happened. It's out of my control. All I can do now is just use it from this point on. And so far, I'm really digging it. Although I really need to teach myself self-control when it comes to purchasing blush, because I have way too many in my collection that are just not being used. So I don't know. I need to be sent to like blush buying and just makeup buying rehab just in general. So the next mainstream brand release that I wanted to chat with you guys about is from Too Faced. And this is their Glowver Puppy Love Highlighter. Now, we don't have a date for the release of this highlighter yet, but we do have a price, and this will be 30 smackaroons, not to be confused with macaroons. Now, this is described as a champagne gold highlighter inspired by Clover's love for everything shiny. It is described as an ultra creamy formula. Now, if you're not already aware, Clover has kind of been the mascot of Too Faced over the past, I don't know, 2 years or so, and Glowver is Jared Blandino's dog, who used to be the CEO of Too Faced, I believe, and now he's just a creative director after selling his company for like $2.3 billion or something like that. So my camera unfortunately died. As per usual, I feel like this happens at some point to every person who makes YouTube videos, so we are gonna have to just stick with a voiceover for this part. But as I was saying before I started blabbering about friggin' Jared Blandino, but the Glowver Puppy Love Highlighter is a champagne gold highlighter highlighter that is supposed to be inspired by Clover's love for everything shiny, which is pretty cute. Now, this highlighter is totally adorable. Like, don't get me wrong, I love anything cute like this. I happen to love Sanrio, I love Hello Kitty, I love Cinnamoroll, I love everything that is cutesy like that, and this just reminds me of Sanrio. It is stinking adorable. But the really cool thing about this highlighter is that Too Faced is actually going to be donating $25,000 to the Vanderpump Dog Rescue, which is obviously a dog rescue organization. But what's really cool about them donating, you know, that amount of money to this specific fund is that they're actually going to be fighting the atrocities of the Yulin Dog Meat Festival, which, if you don't know what that is, if you're an animal lover, I don't really think I would suggest looking it up. It's basically just a festival where unfortunately people eat dogs, and pets even get kidnapped and taken to the festival to be consumed. It's some real dark and messed up shit, and I really have respect for a brand that puts their efforts and the money that they're making towards something that, you know, makes a positive in someone's life, especially something like this. I'm a huge animal lover. We have a dog at my house, we have pets at my house. I'm a huge pet lover just in general, and it breaks my heart that things like this go on in the world. So I have to commend Too Faced and anyone out there who has donated money to this fund, who has, you know, fought against the Yulin Dog Meat Festival. Kudos to you if you have, because it's just a real terrible thing, and we need to stand up for these poor animals that can't. But I'm considering buying this highlighter just for the sole purpose of them donating that money. And, you know, it's adorable. I don't really know if I would love it because I'm not really the hugest fan of a champagne highlight, believe it or not. I like me some weird multichromatic highlights. But it's really, really cute, and it's going towards a great cause. I'm on the fence about it because I know I don't need it, but I do like the fact that the money is going towards the Yulin Dog Meat Festival, or if I wanted to, I could just donate money to that myself. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence. But if I had a friend who needed, you know, a new highlighter, or if I had a friend whose birthday was coming up, I would totally buy them this. It's stinking cute, and the money goes somewhere amazing. So you really gotta give Too Faced some props here for not only creating a really cute little product, but also standing up for animal rights, because these poor little puppies and kitties and animals that get abused around the world in general do not ever deserve that. They deserve just as much respect as, you know, we treat other humans. So in my opinion, I really have to take my hat off for anyone who is standing up for animals in the way that Too Faced is right now. But those are all of the mainstream brands that I wanted to touch on for this week. There really wasn't that much piquing my interest, but as per usual, we have a lot of good things to chat about here in the indie section of Pay or Stay Away. So let's get into it. But the first indie release that I wanted to talk about is from Straub Cosmetics, and this is their Neon Bloom glitters. These are available now. They retail for $10 each, or you could pick up all 6 glitters for $40, which is a great price in my opinion. But these glitters look so freaking beautiful. They look so interesting and unique, and they look so multi-dimensional, and it just looks like, you know, they're not just one flat color of glitter. They have these different colored particles in them that just make them so interesting. I feel like these are almost multichromatic in a way, but not quite. They're not quite there. They're like 75% the way there. They're not fully committed, but these are really, really beautiful. And honestly, if I used loose glitter more often, I would totally pick these up. Like, I'd probably pick all of them up because all of the shades are beautiful, but I'm not really that much of a loose glitter kind of gal. I'm more of a pressed glitter kind of person, or a pressed sparkly shadow kind of person, which, believe it or not, is different than, you know, a pressed glitter. I just find loose glitters to be so messy, and I am an extremely messy person when it comes to doing my makeup. Okay, we know this by now. I have been called out numerous amounts of times for how messy I am with my palettes and my makeup collection. So yeah, I'm sure you can guess that I get glitter everywhere when I'm using a loose glitter. So I try to avoid them as much as possible. If I can get a pressed glitter or a sparkly pressed eyeshadow, I prefer to do that instead because things are just a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier. Loose glitters are not the most user-friendly of makeup products. In fact, they're probably one of the least user-friendly makeup products. But if there's just a shade of a loose glitter that is calling to me that I don't think I can get anywhere else, then I am the kind of person that will take that plunge. I'll deal with the mess, I'll deal with the cleanup process to be able to get that effect on my eyes. Now, if they had a pink, like a bright baby pink type of glitter here in this little collection, I would take that risk, I would purchase it, and I would deal with the after effects and deal with the consequences of using a loose glitter when you're an extremely messy person. Yeah, I would definitely do that if they came out with a, you know, baby pink or hot pink kind of glitter. Now they do have one that's in this line that definitely calls to me. It's definitely a pink. It is called Paradise, and it is described as a semi-translucent candy pink glitter with a red, green, and a gold iridescent shift, which sounds super interesting in my opinion. It sounds really beautiful. It looks really beautiful. It just looks more red than pink to me, in my personal opinion, for what I'm seeing here. And I don't think I would necessarily use it if it is more red based. Now, if this is more pink based, maybe I'll end up purchasing this. I kind of want to see it used on someone's eyes, or maybe swatched out once people start to get this in the mail. But as of right now, I don't really feel like there's any colors that are really, you know, screaming out at me saying buy me, but I do think that all these products look beautiful, and if I was into these types of colors that they came out with, I would totally purchase this. But, you know, like I said, I just don't want to deal with the cleanup for a shade that I know I'm not going to use all the time, or a shade that I don't feel like I really need in my collection, and that's just kind of the way I feel about these. But they look beautiful nonetheless. And hello, Straub Cosmetics, if you guys decide to come out with a baby pink glitter, like in this formula, maybe like a baby pink with iridescent green and iridescent gold and maybe iridescent silver, yeah, that would be speaking my language a little bit more there, and I would totally purchase it. So here's hoping that they actually come out with that. Y'all can call it Angel Tears or something cute like that. The next indie release is from one of my favorite brands we talk about a lot here in Pay or Stay Away. This is Touch of Glam Beauty, and they came out with their multi-dimensional topper sparkle shadows. Now these are available now, and they retail for $11.99 each, and there are technically 2 different shades to choose from, but there's a little bonus shade thrown in. So the 2 iridescent sparkly shades are called Booyah, which is an aqua lime purple. It's basically like a multi-dimensional shifting sheer sparkly topper kind of shadow, if that makes sense, and this is a pressed product as well. And the second shade is called As If, and this is a pink, peach, and gold sparkly multi-dimensional topper shadow. So, I mean, come on, you already know which one I bought. I bought As If. The name is cute. It reminds me of the early 2000s, which is what Amy said on her Instagram. Very Paris Hilton in my opinion, and this color is very Paris Hilton. And I have just been a freaking fiend when it comes to these multi-dimensional sparkly topper shadows. Vanessa's Vanity came out with one called Strawberry Lemonade, which I purchased and I'm considering buying a backup of. I have just been buying these left and right, okay, and Lord knows I don't need another, but this looked too beautiful to pass up. I mean, can you blame me? Can you blame me for not wanting to pass this item up even though I know I don't need it? It is stunning, and honestly, I hope that she comes out with more shades like this. Maybe a purple, maybe a green for people out there who like greens. I'm not really one of them, but you know, we gotta cater to the masses here. Maybe even a red or, ooh, a yellow. That would be pretty fun. A yellow iridescent multi-chrome topper thing. I don't think I've ever seen something like that on the market. She also came out with an iridescent kind of multi-dimensional, multi-chrome type of shadow. Now, this is not sparkly. It's not a topper shadow either. Now, I currently own a highlighter from Vanessa's Vanity called Wild Butterfly, and that is very similar in my opinion visually. Like inspecting this photo of Ortoire, to me they look pretty similar, other than the fact that Vanessa's Vanity's Wild Butterfly highlighter has a little bit of green and gold kind of sprinkled in. It's a similar concept, you know, the lilac and pink and blue base, but the difference between the two is that the Vanessa's Vanity one has a little bit of a green shift going on, and this one doesn't. This one's more cool toned, a little bit more pinky. So I do think that I would get a lot of use out of this shade if I didn't already have, you know, the Vanessa Vanity one. Even though they are a little bit different, they're similar enough to me, at least, you know, going off of me visually looking at the photo of Ortoire here. So I don't really think I need it for that purpose. But if I didn't already have Wild Butterfly, we would be singing a different song here, we'd be talking a different story. This guy would totally make his way into my collection, and Ortoire is really beautiful, so maybe someday he will. Just not right now, my friend, not right now. And the final release that I wanted to talk about today as far as indie makeup goes is from Peaches Makeup, which is a brand based out of the UK, I believe. I know they're from the EU, but they recently came out with the Temptation Pigment Trio. It took me like 10 freaking tries to say those words, to get those words out of my mouth, because I ran out of water like 20 minutes. Oh my god. Why? It's because I ran out of water like 20 minutes ago, and I'm just simply too lazy to go into the other room and get myself water, so my throat is just suffering. So if you are not familiar with Peach's makeup, they are basically known for their pigments. I believe a lot of the UK makeup artists like Mitchell and Stacey Marie are kind of what brought them over to the States as far as popularity goes. I had never really heard of them before that, but they use their pigments all of the time and they look freaking phenomenal. They look beautiful. I really hope to try some of their pigments someday, but they have a golden kind of green pigment that is really popular amongst their brand, which is called Rattlesnake, and they basically based this entire trio off of Rattlesnake. They basically tweaked the formula a little bit, kind of changed up the undertones, but they're all different variations of the typical green gold. So in the trio, there is the shade Snakebite, Venom, and Eden, all snake related things. I think these are really beautiful, and I really like the idea that they've taken basically a color scheme based off of a really popular item from their brand and kind of expanded on that. I've always really wanted to see brands do that, because if they have something that is really working for them, if they have something that's really unique and interesting and that people like, why not expand off of that and make more and just kind of tweak things a little bit? I'm sure some people would disagree with that statement, but I'm the kind of person that just sticks to my realm. I stick to my realm of pink makeup here, and I personally would like to see more brands kind of branch off of products that work well for them, especially when it comes to, you know, my favorite color schemes, pink makeup. I do, however, really like green gold eyeshadows. Every so often I go through a phase of just using green gold. It happened about 7 months ago, and I went through like a 2-week or 3-week phase of just wearing Pat McGrath's Astral Lunar Gold? No, Astral Fire Opal, that's what she's called. But I do really enjoy the green gold color. I really think it looks kind of good with my skin tone and kind of with my undertones. So I'm interested in these pigments. Now, you know, when you're buying from another country, you have to basically pay premium over here in the US and kind of all over the world. So I am definitely interested in these pigments. I think they're beautiful. I think I could get a lot of use out of them. The only thing that's holding me back from just purchasing from Peach's makeup in general is the extra fee that you pay to basically transport it from the EU over to the US. And I know I'm sitting here preaching to the choir. We all hate it, especially when you live outside of the US and all of these makeup brands are based in the US. So I should consider myself lucky for living here and not having to pay the extra money to get it shipped over. All right, my loves, but we have successfully made it to the end of Pay or Stay Away, made it in one piece. So you'll have to let me know down in the comments, what are you going to be purchasing that has been announced this week? What are you going to be staying away from? Are you going to be purchasing any of the things I talked about here today? You know, the usual. Let's open up a discussion down below about what we're going to be buying and what we're not going to be buying. But if you enjoyed Pay or Stay Away and you are not already subscribed, I do this every single Monday. We sit down here, we chat, we get a little bit weird, and we talk about new makeup releases. So if you would like to be in the loop with all the new makeup releases, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. And if you enjoyed the video, then I would absolutely love it if you gave me a big old thumbs up. It helps out the YouTube channel, it helps to push the video out to others. So if you choose to do so, then I greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing and beautiful day wherever you are, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you next time. Bye!